Hotep, Black Power. It's your brother Shaka saying Kofu again. As always, fighting in the spirit of liberation and salvation for the black nation. As always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors who shed their blood, sweat, and tears for us to make this day and make our existence possible. Also, honor to my queen and all the queens, all the kings and queens that are truly fighting for our liberation. And also all the brothers and sisters on the planet Earth, known and unknown, straight and fucked up. What I wanted to talk to you about today is since a lot of you all are in mass hysteria and mass confusion in terms of dealing with Donald Trump, what I can't understand is that you don't be confused, you don't be in mass hysteria and uncertainty when it comes to dealing with your brother, dealing with your brothers and sisters, dealing with somebody that look like you know, taking the lives of your brothers and sisters. You have no confusion or misdirection or misunderstanding about none of that. Now when it comes to the real devil surfacing, you know, because all crackers are devils, you know, if you push them far enough. But I'm talking about, you know, this so-called Adolf Trump. You know, you crack just to show how the fear that you have of the motherfucking white man. It's clear and evident now. You know, you're just not afraid of just Donald Trump. You're afraid of all crackers. You've always been afraid of all crackers. Because it don't make no sense, you just being afraid of just one fucking cracker. It don't make sense. You know, you've been like that all your life. You've been under the system and hypnosis and control of the system of racism, white supremacy the whole time. You know, you've just been camouflaging and talking a whole bunch of rhetoric to make it appear that you were fearless when it came to dealing with the white man, but you're not. You know, you just as scared to death of this fucking cracker. So, you know, give me a second, brothers and sisters. Pardon the interruption, brothers and sisters. I just had to take a important phone call right quick. But like I was saying, you know, about the fear, you know, of this cracker. You know, this one cracker. You've been afraid of what you've been under the hypnosis and fear of white supremacy the entire time. You know, but you know, what can we do? People been telling us and telling you all for the last 50 years, particularly Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, the great ancestress, you know, may she rest in power, and her work continues on, and her energy and spirit live through us for eternity. Dr. Neely Fuller, Amos Wilson, Naeem Akbar, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Dr. Barashango, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Brother Steve Copeland, you know, and many others have laid down format after format after format on how to deal with this system of racism, white supremacy. You know, but you all have been so, you know, selfish, you know, and greedy, you know, and self-hating that you ignored all of this information, all of these warnings, all of these messages, you know, based on dealing with self-hatred, based on chasing materialism, you know, based on chasing fortune, based on chasing fame and notoriety, which is all false illusions when it comes to you know, you all trying to impress white supremacy. So now look at you. it's always a solution to every situation. I don't even call this a problem. This is just another situation. We've had our foot on our necks forever. You know, the solutions is boycott the holidays. Take those $100 billion. You can open up a couple of black communities. Evict all non-melanated businesses out of the black community. Second, you know, we buy our own politicians, our own councilmen, our own city councilmen in each district, in each ward. We buy our own police department. We buy our own courts. We buy our own politicians. We buy our own judges. You know, and we forbid any of us to buy outside of the black community. We buy within our own communities. We build our own self-supporting communities. Once we establish these goals, then it doesn't matter who's in office because we will be self-supporting. It wouldn't even make a difference. It wouldn't even affect us no matter what they've done. The only thing that they could possibly do or make an attempt to do once these things are implemented is to do what they did in Tulsa. Go in there and drop bombs on the black communities, which won't happen. Because I hear a lot of you ignorant Negroes say, well, we can't beat the white man because he got all the bombs and planes and stuff. No, it doesn't. You got just as many brothers and sisters flying these planes and these drones and know how to drop these bombs. You got just as many of these brothers and sisters in the armed forces as you do those fucking Peckerwoods. So that's just not his army anymore. So, you know, we taking away all the excuses. Because we keep coming up, every time it comes to dealing with this motherfucking cracker, we got a whole bunch of excuses. You know, but let somebody say, you know, somebody, one of your family members or somebody that look like you owe you some money. You can't wait to get a whole bunch of niggas and load up in the car to go and destroy and murder somebody that look like you. You're quick to do that. You're quick to hold up gang signs, you know, beefing with somebody that lives across the street from you. You know, but I've never seen any drive-bys on no police cars in none of these hoods. You're supposed to be so strong, you know, so invincible and not taking no shorts, and you down for anything. You know, that 187 and all this bullshit. You know, but what about a 188 when it comes to dealing with this motherfucking cracker? You know, it's a whole different scenario. You know, they got cameras, they got this, they got that. You know, and it's not that. You know, same cameras that's out there when you killed your brother is out there. It's going to be out there if you ever decide in your coward ass life to deal with the cracker. It's the same goddamn camera, same motherfucking cameras out there then. You know, but you're heartless. You know, you don't have any guts. You know, and that's what gets me. That's the shit that gets me. You know, calling sister bitches and hoes. You got them in strip clubs, these little girls, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old little girls, you know, lap dancing and sitting on old people that are old enough to be their grandfather. They're in the strip club getting a lap dance from somebody that's 40 years younger than them. You know, y'all call that shit making it rain in the club, throwing up $1 bills and all that shit, having these little queens scramble for money, you know, and then naked and all this shit. And you call that shit, you call it being a man. Come on, man. This is motherfucking punk, man. You know, you just a motherfucking coward, man. You And that comes from the music industry, where a lot of y'all have sold your souls along with your buttholes, to get record deals, to pump this fucking filth to these babies. And that's what you're doing, pumping filth into these babies. But it's no problem when you do that, when you got people in your video, doing it. You got these little girls in your videos twerking and all this bullshit. But let's see your mother twerk. Let me see your mother, let me see your daughters twerking. See, you can't deal with that shit. You can't deal with that part. If your daughter's in the porno, bobbing on somebody's dick, you can't deal with that. But it's okay for you to sodomize somebody else's daughter or granddaughter. Now you sodomizing men. A lot of y'all sodomizing boys. A lot of y'all sleeping with these transvestites. And then you come and bring that shitty dick, home to your queen. Talking about you been out there on the grind. Yeah, you been grinding, alright. Grinding another man's motherfucking ass. And that's another thing I be hearing, brothers talking about eating booty, but not vagina. They talking about, well, all that shit's nasty. But I'm talking about when they talk about eating butthole. I've seen one of Master what's his name? Birdman, one of his guys to be with him, little chubby dude, looked like a damn gummy bear with a teardrop under his eye, and he was bragging about how much anus that he eat. Saying he's a gangster because he eats somebody's butthole. Real gangsters eat booty, nigga. Nigga, we eat booty, nigga. Come on, man. You a motherfucker. That's some gay shit, man. A butthole's a butthole. And that type of filth that you're pumping into these babies. See, I wouldn't have a problem if these children weren't affected by it. If this shit wasn't being displayed on social media and partially on BET. But our babies have access to this filth, and they're gonna be curious, and explore and wander into the world of social media, into that World Wide Web, and all this stuff is there for them to see, and all it does is contaminate their minds. But it's a price to pay for not having a conscience, of poisoning, mentally and spiritually poisoning your brothers and sisters. So I want to know, what it's going to take. What is it going to take? Snoop Dogg, all these dudes, all these punks, Ice Cube, all these punks that have become very, very wealthy off the exploitation and degradation of our queens. Having these sisters on dog chains and all this shit. You never do that. I never seen none of you do a white bitch like that. None of you done a white bitch like that. And that lets me know that you are a straight coward, punk motherfucking nigga. With no heart and no motherfucking balls. Cause you are afraid to do anything like that. And that's why, Snoop, you couldn't get along with Pop. Because, just think about it, people. This motherfucker went buck wild when Pop passed. When he made his ascension, he changed his whole motherfucking demeanor, his behaviors, and everything changed. He turned into a wild ass motherfucking, coon ass motherfucking punk. when Pac passed. And then now he going around saying they ended on a foul note. I guess so. It wasn't that you ended on a foul note. It was just that you are a foul nigga. So, all this what we gonna do now since Trump here and all this shit, you know what to do. We all know what to do. In case you want to know, Trump got 14% of his votes came from the black community. 83% of the black votes came from the black church. The nigga preachers were bought, sold their motherfucking souls for money, and then they voted for Trump, skinning and motherfucking grinning in the slave master's face. And that lets you know how fucked up religion is. And that's why we gotta get rid of that shit. All that religion gotta go. That's what keeps us divided, keeps us separated. Cause we still fucking around and dipping and dabbing and engulfing ourselves in fucking spookism. You name one motherfucker in the Bible that has came back. You name one motherfucker in the Quran that has came back. Yeah, I'm back. Like I was saying, as far as the the nasty trifling stuff that these entertainers and athletes engage themselves in, and how it affects and how it poisons the community, and affects the minds of these babies. Like I said, I wouldn't have a problem, if you punks, didn't have an effect on our babies, but you better get that shit together too, because you can't keep doing this shit forever. Because once the black community cleans itself up, which the entertainment and sports business is part of it too. They're a major influence. A lot of shit that they doing, is going to be eliminated. As well as a lot of the house niggas and bootlickers. Because when this cracker picks who gonna be, which Negroes and house niggas that he gonna keep, he gonna throw the rest of y'all motherfuckers away. And let me iterate this. You're not welcome back in the black community. So don't bring your motherfucking ass back to the black community. That's a no-no. Find another community to go in, and sell them out. Because because they're not gonna go for it. It's just a lot of things that we're gonna have to work on in order to make shit work for us. Other than that, just gonna be a lost cause. Stop to think about, your babies for a second. Think about 40, 50 years from now, when most of us will be long gone. What will be left of our babies then? What will be left of the situation? How will the situation of black America will be? What state will we be in? Will we ever get conscious? Those are things you have to ask yourself. So you gotta fight, Cause I'm gonna fight. It's not a whole lot to it. You know what I'm saying? Most of us don't have nothing to lose. You never had shit. More than likely, you're never gonna have anything. But try to leave some economic as well as some information and some black consciousness for our babies to pick up on, so they can grow and they won't have to suffer and have to go through the things that we're going through. All the police killings. They've been given the green light to kill black men. And that has to end. We need a militia that's going to prevent all of that. That when the caskets rolled in the black community, they got to roll in the white community. For every one of us, every one of them. And that shit will stop. That shit will stop yesterday. That marching and that hooting and hollering, that singing and that motherfucking church and that jumping up and down and these being misled by these motherfucking pastors. TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Fred Price, all of these motherfucking snake niggas. They already got one. Eddie Long is dealing with the wrath of the creator and the ancestors now. They have him in a motherfucking chokehold as a message to the rest of you motherfuckers. So it's time for you all to get it together. That's another strike you got against you anyway for selling out the black church. Selling out the black church, selling out the people. You didn't think it was gonna get out? That you motherfucking pastors voted for Trump? You black ass house niggas voted for Trump, and you didn't think it was gonna come out? No, brother. You got a lot of us that research, and we dig into this shit. These TV shows, all these TV shows, they deal with, the self-hatred of the black man and the black woman. The black woman is always being portrayed in Tyler Perry movies, as a distraught, dysfunctional sister, that's been hurt by, a brother. And then all that does is create a depressive energy into the queens, and then it gives them a different outlook on how they're supposed to deal with the king. Because if you look at who makes these movies, Tyler Perry, who's a fucking faggot, who he enjoys being around light-skinned men, young men preferably, and all his movies is like queen victories. It's just all about the degradation of queens and melanated, heavily melanated brothers and sisters. Lee Daniels is the same way. They make these, Monique and Oprah, and they make these old depressive movies of thinking, giving the impression to the world that the black family is so fucked up that we fuck each other as children. It's all molestation and abuse and incest and all this bullshit to give us a bad name, to make people look at us in a degrading manner. And they know what they doing. Ayana, this big lip, big winch, same way. When now all that shit is choreographed. When they have these people on TV and they exploit, their innermost secrets. Primarily most of the people that she have on her show doing this bullshit, doing these old kitty ass therapeutic games, are people whose career. Their careers have fell off and shit like that, and they trying to just get money to pay their mortgage, and they're willing, to be exploited, by this woman who's paid by Oprah, because Oprah's owned by a cracker, Southern Redstone, she's owned, by Southern Redstone. He owns Oprah. All that Harpo and all that, that's just the name. That's just the name. The same way, the issue I got with Nate Parker. I didn't know, that when Byron Allen came to him to do distribution of Birth of a Nation, he turned Byron Allen down, a brother down, and he went with fucking Fox. And he gave us the impression that nobody didn't want to fuck with him but Fox, and that was a lie. He lied to us. Him, and and I still give him credit. I'll give him honor for Birth of a Nation. I give him honor. Him and that ugly ass white bitch he got. You know, that is, you know, and that's the same. It goes for him too. He got to make a decision on what he's gonna do when it all falls down. He's no exception. You know, of course I honor him. I highly respect him. You know, and I'm very grateful for the brother that he you know, was determined to make this movie, put this movie out. You know, and that's just that was his melody. You know, and you know, I'm always be grateful to the brother, you know, but however, you know, I can't overlook his situation either with his white bitch, you know, and Tony Parker and Michael Finley. I thank them for, you know, providing the financial balance, you know, in order for the movie to been able to have been put in the theaters and been able to been put together and been made. I thank y'all brothers, you know, and you know, and the people that turned the brother down, you know, motherfuck y'all, you know, Spook Lee and the rest of you motherfuckers, you know, but you know, it's time for us to come together with a plan. You know, a plan of action, so we can come together, you know, and go ahead and get ourselves prepared for this motherfucking cracker. You know, if we don't do it that way, it's not gonna work. I'm telling y'all this now. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Nothing else is gonna work. You know, until we do it, but until we get down and do economic sanctions, you know, all this boycotting and walking around with picket signs and all that is a bunch of worn out shoe leather and a whole bunch of burnt out magic markers and cardboard. That's all, you know, and that shit has to stop. You know, even when one of our brothers or sisters murdered, you know, by one of these fucking cops. You know, that protesting, no justice, no peace shit. No. You know, because that Black Lives Matter shit, that shit has to be eliminated too. You know. Have signs say revolution matters. Black salvation matters. You know, how many people gonna walk with those signs? You know, besides this LGBT shit, you know. And then when the brother Darren Seals, you know, may he rest in power. You know, may his energy come back and destroy the crackers, those cracker cops, who I know personally that are responsible for that brother's demise. You know, may he come back in a whirlwind, in a hurricane or a ball of fire and destroy these motherfucking crackers. You know. We have to get on another level, brothers and sisters. All this old passive bullshit, you know, let's go downtown and with the law and all this bullshit. None of that shit ain't gonna work. The only thing gonna work, you know, is motherfucking eye for eye, like Colin said. You know, when Cassie start rolling in the white community like they do in the black community, this shit will end yesterday. No other way. No books. No amount of praying. None of that's gonna work. You know, none of that's gonna be effective. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked from the beginning of time. It's not gonna work now. It's not gonna never work because you dealing with and religion. And I'm just being straight up honest. That shit is nothing but fairy tales. All this is fairy tale written in books. Cause how much validity is it? Like I said, once again, have you ever seen any sights of these individuals that you read about in these motherfucking books? You haven't seen them. There's no traces of their existence. Why is that? If they existed and they were so powerful, they're the Son of Man and the Chosen One and all this God in the flesh and all this bullshit. You know, it's no traces of none of these individuals of ever existing. But you can go in the pyramids. They still have bodies and tombs of our great kings and queens that have existed during that same period that these people that you read about in them books have supposed to have existed. So and then why would you want to practice the same religion that was forced on you by the slave master? Now, if you're in slavery and he gives you a book to read, why would he give you a book to read that's going to save you, and he wants and you're in physical bondage? And he gives you a book that's going to free you. And we still under that hypnosis. We still under that, still have that slave mentality today. Same slave mentality there. I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. You got brothers and sisters walking around with millions and billions of dollars and won't help their own people out. Their own people are dying right before their eyes and they won't even help them. And most of you got your money from the support of the black community. You took the money from the black community and you became wealthy, and now you don't even want to do anything for the black community. But you do everything for the devil. Everything for the devil. Look at Floyd Mayweather. $1 billion. But then now he say all lives matter. You wasn't saying that at first when your mother was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. It was 7 of y'all. And your father on the other side of town, was selling crack every motherfucking day. You didn't say all lives matter then. You didn't say all lives matter when them crackers took your motherfucking gold medal from your ass. You didn't say that shit then. Now all of a sudden, all lives matter now. Then you say you hired all black people on your team. Those are flunkies, man. Any billionaire can get some people, can get some flunkies. And at the same time, the people in Flint drinking piss water and shit water. You ride past them in a fucking Bugatti from the money that they spent buying your fucking fights on pay-per-view. No good motherfucking nigga, man. No good motherfucking nigga, man. I used to have a lot of respect for you, man. You big puffy nose, monkey lip ass. I don't fuck with you no more. So and there's a lot of y'all like that. Steve Harvey, this horse mouth motherfucker, that wore a fucking wig, for the most part of his motherfucking life. And he's the same way. He say he don't give a damn about slavery. But we'll see, motherfucker, when your ass, because you getting ready to go back in slavery. We're going to see how you feel there. Man, I wish I could slap the shit out you, boy. I ain't bullshit, man. And that's these are just some instances, that our people, man. A lot of our people are just fucked up and they gotta be dealt with. We gotta stop acting like we don't see this shit, having a blind eye, to shit, And then, for you motherfuckers that hate your family members and, you dealing with a whole bunch of motherfucking personal self-hatred, That's the only way, that you're able to have any dislike towards somebody, your biological kin, it's that self-hatred runs rampant in the black community. Motherfuckers have vile hatred for their siblings and relatives. But people on the outside, they respect them and love them, more than they do their family. And that's a motherfucking mental illness. That's a motherfucking sickness. You know, because self-hatred runs rampant in the black community. You know, rampant. You know, we have a lot of brothers and sisters that don't even look in the mirror. They so fucking disgusted, you know, with who they are, instead of having pride, you know, and being thankful that they're still here, you know, and you know, the downtrodden appears to have more courage and heart and more self-love than some of these motherfuckers who, you know, have been blessed not to be in those positions. You know, I know how it is. You know, I know how it is to, you know, go hungry and be on the motherfucking street and be in prison. I know how it is. But, you know, that's why, you know, I've committed myself for change to help the downtrodden. You know, the street law soldiers, that's what we do. We assist the people that have been counted out because we've had those same experiences. So we know how it is, you know. And, you know, the black community has a high level of ungratefulness. High level of ungratefulness. You know, but, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of things gonna come to the surface. A lot of us gonna be exposed, you know, because we've been, you know, the ancestors, the creator, they have given us ample time to fix a lot of things up, not only just in our personal lives, but in the black community as a whole. You know, now you're gonna see instances of different rafts coming down on masses of our people, you know, for their neglect, you know, of the ancestors and the creator, and going against the divine instructions of our ancestors and the creator, and following the false instructions of these motherfucking crackers and these motherfucking religions. You know, these fairy tales. You're gonna see. You know. And me personally, you know, I've spent last 20 plus years, you know, trying to, you know, educate and help our brothers and sisters come into a realm of black consciousness. You know, but, you know, my patience is running real motherfucking thin with a lot of this shit. You know, and because, you know, we gotta buckle up and hunker down and just starting to you know, link up with just like-minded people, because a lot of unconscious people are going to be a hindrance to our liberation. So we have to make up our minds in terms of what we're going to do. You know, excuse me. And you know, I'm gonna be doing some PowerPoint presentations, you know, coming soon, you know, and give you a lot of pictorial, you know, show you a lot of pictorials, you know, so you can get a more clear understanding of where I'm coming from. You know, like I was saying, that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be some things that's gonna take place, some things that's gonna come down the pipe. You know, that we have to be, you know, we got to be ready. You know, we can't sit back and just, you know, look up in the sky and think something magically, you know, hocus pocus, poof, something's supposed to happen where we're gonna be out of this condition. It's not gonna happen like that. So what we have to do, the instructions have already been laid out. It's just a matter of following them and getting rid of the niggas that's gonna be that's hindering our liberation. You know, these Stephen A. Smiths, these Charles Barkley, Shaka, you know, Steve Harvey, Don Lemon, Stacey Dash, Raven Simone, Ben Carson. You know, Uncle Ben Carson, who said that he thanked God that it was slavery, because if it wasn't for slavery, we'd be in Africa hanging from trees, praying to Allah. You know, that show you how mentally sick this motherfucking bitch nigga is. You know, he's a bitch nigga. You know, he's an Uncle Tom. He has the right name. Uncle Ben Carson. And not the long grain rice, but the short grain rice. Motherfucking punk, man. You know, motherfuckers like that, man. You know, people that have a voice in society. You know, they can have a major influence and impact on a lot of people, man. You know, niggas are those type of niggas are dangerous to the growth and liberation of the black nation. We got those motherfuckers have to be dealt with, man. You know, Oprah Winfrey, all of them motherfuckers, man, all of them. You know, all those motherfuckers. Tavis Smiley, you know, Cornel West, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. You know, them motherfuckers gotta be, you know, they have to be eliminated. They are a hindrance, and what they do, they're the gargoyles, they're the gatekeepers for white supremacy. They keep, you know, blacks at a subordinate level. You know, and you know, in turn, they're rewarded with wealth. They're rewarded with fame, airtime. You know, Sharpton, who goes around and he sits around and wait for a brother or sister to be murdered, you know, unjustly by a motherfucking cracker or one of these faggot cracker cops. You know, and all he does is cash in. Him and that National Action Network and that Black Lives Matter shit. Now these motherfuckers done linked up with the LGBT community, you know, which, you know, no Obama, you know, granted, you know, gave them permission and gave these motherfuckers all types of rights, where you can't even call a faggot, you know, without some type of legal repercussions and shit. You know, because you dealing with the Roman, this part of the Roman Empire, man. The Roman takeover, man. You know, where they trying to effeminate all black men, man. Because the white man is a faggot anyway, by nature. He's a faggot. You know, and you know, when, you know, the shit that Obama done, man. You know, he set us up. He fattened you niggas up for the killing. That's all he done, man. You know, when Sandy Hook, when they had the shooting at Sandy Hook, you know, he went to these crackers' houses personally, man, and sat and cried with the parents, these motherfucking devils. He went to done the same thing in Orlando. He done the same thing in Dallas. But he never even called Eric Gardner's daughters. He never went to visit Michael Brown's parents. You know, Philando Castile, you know, he never, none of those. Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin, which his father has, if you do the research, you'll find out how Tracy Martin sacrificed and has cashed in off his son's murder. You know, because he's a Scottish Rite Mason. You know, and you know, when he held, I'm gonna show y'all some pictures where he did the ceremony, where he did the sacrificial ritual ceremony. You know, with the Scottish Rite Mason. You know, in regards to you know, the demise and sacrificing his son. Because if he didn't, let's just be honest. How can motherfucking George Zimmerman walk in the same area that they live in right today and there's nothing done? You know, Tracy Martin has had nothing done to this man. You know, he has enough money and he has accumulated enough money traveling all over the country on different talk shows, you know, pimping his motherfucking son. You know, he could have been had this motherfucking cracker killed. You know, but that's part of the ritual. You know, and I don't know about you know, his mother. I don't know about Trayvon's mother, but I know, you know, his father, Tracy Martin, is pimping his son, you know, and has cashed in and sacrificed his son, you know, in exchange for wealth, you know, the ability to travel all over the country. You know, he's always on these talk shows, doing all these lectures on how to deal with a child murdered unjustly by a cracker, you know, which he really don't mean, you know, because there's no way someone could kill my son, you know, and you know, we still in the same area, and then I get all this money, tons of money. Nah, something has been done to him, you know, and that's how I know that he was sacrificed. Also, you know, they just gave this brother 20 years for shooting at Zimmerman. They don't even know Tracy Martin or none of them, you know, but he was so fed up and sick to his stomach of Trayvon's father, you know, how he sacrificed him and how today he's a motherfucking coward, man. You know, and then a lot of you niggas in social media, you know, they sit behind these laptops and with your legs crossed and all this shit, you know, sitting back criticizing, critiquing people, you know, and measuring people. Because I know a lot of so-called revolutionaries that have sold out. You know, I see them taking pictures with different people, man. Kathy Hughes and all these motherfucking you know, bed wench sellout motherfuckers that are handing white supremacy, all these black revolutionaries on a platter, you know, and you know, and I'm surprised that some of you motherfucking niggas, man, you know, that you lost the fire. The fire's been extinguished, you know, because